All right, so I want to start off kind of light because my message is real basic, real simple. I'm gonna start off kind of light, and I'm gonna take a step back here. Let me tell this little story. So the other day I was cleaning my bathroom, and I was thinking, I was like, I wonder what kind of toilet system is gonna be in heaven. And then I'm like, who got to clean it? So then I'm like, maybe that's or the Christians who don't really do everything they're supposed to do. Maybe that's their job. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm head janitor then. So then, and I'm thinking about that, and then I posted that on Facebook, and people were like, "That's a job I wouldn't mind," and I was just like, "Yeah, okay," but when everybody's at the Feast or Tabernacles in heaven and having fun, and you got toilet duty, that's not going to be fun. And then I pictured in my brain, a lot of you guys know who I'm about to mention, but some of you guys don't. It's an ex-member, Jeremy Farabee, who's got a Southern twang, standing over you while you're cleaning, saying, "It's better than hell." That was my little joke. But all right, so our text is Acts 26:28. And I figured I'd do a Pastor Rogers. I came up with a 3-word sermon title: Be a Christian. So I wanted to try my hand at that. So we're gonna Acts 26. And actually, we're going to go ahead and look at verses 2 and 3 real quick. These will help. I think myself happy, King Agrippa, because I shall answer for myself this day before thee, touching all things whereof I am accused of the Jews, especially because I know thee to be an expert in all customs and questions which are among the Jews. Wherefore I beseech thee to hear me patiently. Let's go up to verse 27 and 28. King Agrippa, believest thou the prophets? I know that thou believest. Then Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian. And that's where my text is. But I'm not going to tell you guys the story. Some of you guys already know the story, and if you don't, I'm going to let him preach it because he's got more time than I do. So I'm just going to, because I'm focusing on these last 3 words, be a Christian. Okay, now, there's many reasons why King Agrippa didn't want to be a Christian. And I won't get into those reasons either. A lot of you guys know, and I'm sure pride is one of them, many other things. But if you remember in verses 2 and 3, he knows the Jewish customs. Now, the kings weren't necessarily obliged to follow the customs. They weren't necessarily the big priest just because they were king. They were actually probably mostly far from it, from a high priest. But they like to think themselves, high and mighty because they were king. So anyway, here he knows the customs, and Paul even says, you know what the prophets say, and you believe them. I know you believe them. So why didn't he want to be a Christian? Well, I think it's the same reason that most people don't want to be a Christian nowadays. It's because they got to do what the Bible tells them to do. And that's what probably King Agrippa was really thinking in his head. He's looking at Paul and the situation that he's in, and he's like, I don't want to be like this. No, almost, but no. So I think that's what happens with a lot of people. They see us, we're telling them about the Lord, and I think somewhere in the back of their head, they're like, I don't know if I want to be like that, or some. I don't even think they don't think they can because they don't know what the power of the Holy Spirit can do in their life. But I'm going to give everybody, and this is something that we can tell people. They're like, okay, well, I got questions how to be a Christian. You can tell them, and this is something that I recommend. A little homework if you guys want, take home and read it. I recommend reading it with your children. That's what I like to do. But it's Deuteronomy chapter 6, and we won't read the whole chapter. But the whole chapter pretty much tells you how to be a Christian. It's a basic form of God telling the Israelites, this is what I want you to do, and if you do it, this is what you'll get. And it's a contract, but it's a great contract from beginning to end. He tells them what he wants them to do, and if they do it, then this is what they'll get. And I mean, it's beautiful. He's got tons of promises. It's mixed in. So he's like, yeah, do my commandments and you'll get this. Do this and you'll get this. Do this and you'll get this. It's a beautiful chapter. So it's just something that, I think a new person can be able to, get around their mind as far as the basics. And then, obviously, this whole book tells you how to be a Christian from beginning to end, so everything about it. And I'm just going to give you a few ways that, I'm a Christian, and wrap it up real quick. And of course, I'm not, anybody special. I'm not super Christian. Obviously, I'm going to be janitor in heaven. So don't take being a Christian from me. Take it from him and from God and from His Word. But anyway, going to church, hearing the preaching, reading, studying, praying, giving to the church, giving to others, telling others about Jesus, serving the Lord, raising your kids to do it. It's just, such an important testimony. The way you live is going to show other people how to be a Christian. Oh, I could have summed this all up. Be a Christian.